Well, good afternoon, and a huge thanks for joining us this afternoon on another superb BMF webinar for your chance to claim part of our £1 million support fund to reignite the fitness industry and to give fitness professionals, fitness managers, general managers, and anybody affected by the COVID-19 pandemic financially the opportunity to get back into business and, more importantly, get into business with BMF. So you joined this webinar this afternoon. It's 45 minutes and we are going to have a Q&A section at the end. But if you have any burning questions during the webinar, please drop them in the Q&A. We've got a team of panelists with us this afternoon that will be able to answer that while we're presenting for you for the next 45 minutes. So let me bring up the next slide. My name is Tommy Matthews. I am the Business Development Director from BMF.
And hi, I'm Jan Spaticchia, the Vice Chairman of BMF.
And you're going to be hearing from Jan a little bit later on. But before I get started and go into some of the detail about the opportunity which you registered for today, I'm just going to play a short clip from our co-owner, Bear Grylls.
Hey guys, Bear Grylls here, and just say welcome to Be Military Fit. We're so proud to have you along for this franchisee webinar day. I know this has been a super tough time for many people in the fitness industry, but at BMF we are committing to helping you guys build a future within the outdoor fitness community and to really be able to excel, be part of a family with a strong brand and a strong military ethos. We're about encouraging and supporting you, and I really want to say thanks for your time today, and if you choose to join us, welcome to the family. You're amazing.
So first of all, let me get into some of the key aspects about this opportunity, as I'm sure you're really interested to know more detail. First of all, as I said earlier on, this is your chance to get part of or get access to our £1 million fund. It's a fund we've created to get anybody within the fitness industry who has been affected by the COVID pandemic financially back into business. This is actually a chance to not only get access to this fund, but also own a part of the BMF franchise network, become a franchisee, become a business owner, and hopefully for you personally, be able to realize some of the business goals and aspirations that you have. It's an opportunity to run your own business, which for a lot of you out there as personal trainers will be something that you may have aspired to before, but now actually really is an opportunity to do it with a franchise system, which is so beneficial. And before we get into some more detail, I just wanted to start with a really great clip which outlines exactly what it's like to be part of the BMF team and the BMF family. So I'm just going to hit play now for you.
Really excited about the way Be Military Fit is going at the moment. We seem to be taking a lot more emphasis on current sports science and what's going on in the industry and what athletes are doing now, and looking at members' performance. So they're not just coming week in, week out just to do a fitness class. We're actually looking at them as an individual and looking to progress that individual, so make them stronger, make them faster, make them more powerful.
Since I started active, one of my main reasons was my being overweight. I also had type 2 diabetes, which I have now reversed. Jill, the instructor here, was so inspiring. Each week I found I'd go a little bit further, I could do a little bit more. I'd never ever been a runner. I started running, but now I can run for 5k quite easily.
now lost 10 stone, so I was at nearly 21. I signed up for my first 10k in April and surprisingly enjoyed it. So I've got another one at the end of the month that I'm really looking forward to, and I just want to keep challenging myself and push myself that little bit further.
No matter how many times I watch that clip, it always makes me smile, and I actually think I like the clip more every time I watch it. Whether it's a story about Laura and the 10 stone that she lost, or whether it's the story of Betty that reversed diabetes, or just some of the great news stories that we've had in that clip. It really demonstrates what BMF is all about. It's a community, it's a strong community run by local business owners. And this allows me to get into the opportunity which you hopefully will be able to consider over the next 40 minutes, and hopefully stick around and ask some questions at the end. First of all, you've joined us today because I guess you've got a reason behind this. You've either joined us because you want to learn more about BMF, or you're thinking actually being part of a brand and being part of a business like BMF is something that gets you excited. Well, we also always have a test, and we've been running Discovery Days for many months, almost a year now. And we have a test. It's the turn-up test. It's whether somebody actually turns up for the day and and it tells us a lot about that person. It tells us whether they're actually the right fit for our business, whether they've got the first key test complete, which is are you willing to turn up? I guess in this situation it's a webinar, so it's a little bit easier. You don't really have to jump in your car and drive a few hours to our office down in Battersea to turn up to the Discovery Day. But hey, you've made it here, so there must be a reason why. And whether that reason is to develop a business which means you can become more financially stable, grow a business which allows you to spend more time with your family, there truly is an opportunity with BMF to do that, and to achieve those business aspirations by giving you the systems and the know-how to get you there quickly. And it's part of being part of this large network which BMF has, which really helps our franchisees develop and grow quickly. This network is here to support each other, because your success is our success, and the more support the network offers, the more successful everyone is together. We have a statement and something that we use, which is stronger together. And we really are stronger together because we look after each other. We make sure everybody is prospering and developing. And it's being part of that global brand, which is so unique to BMF franchisees, whether it's the Bear Grylls effect or whether it's the heritage and the 20 years of BMF that BMF has been around. We have such strength in this brand, which attracts so many members, that really helps our franchisees become successful. And it allows our franchisees to grow a business which is worth so much more than just what you would be as a personal trainer working out of a gym, paying rent and not really owning any of the facilities. This is an opportunity to actually own a place on the map, own a territory, own a location, and actually own a business. So much more than what you would get as a standard personal trainer operating out of a gym. So if you decide to get into business with BMF, and this is the opportunity for you, then I will hopefully look forward to meeting you very, very soon and taking you through our enterprise process, which gets you into business. Before that, I thought I'd best cover some of the kind of key things about why franchising and why I believe franchising is so important and so beneficial for you. And I'm going to start with the story. And the story is about myself. The story is about 20 years old now, so I couldn't find a picture of myself 20 years ago, but the guy on the screen is almost like me. In fact, well, the only similarity is it's got personal trainer on his back. And that was me 20 years ago. I was in central London. I was working 7 days a week from 6 a.m. in the morning till 10 p.m. at night, doing 40 hours of PT a week and doing incredibly well. As a very, very young 20-year-old, I was outstanding at how much money I was making. In fact, I couldn't believe how well I was doing. And it was great. I couldn't have thought anything better. I couldn't have done anything better at the time. I was absolutely loving it. After about 12 months of slogging my guts out and working 7 days a week, I started to realize that there was something wrong with this. I was paying rent. I was making a lot of money, but I didn't own anything. I didn't own the gym floor I was working on. I didn't own the equipment I was working with. I didn't even own the members, the clients that I was working with. I had absolutely nothing. And I realized that if I was to leave tomorrow, I would have left with nothing. I would leave with nothing. All of that hard work, all that effort I put into building this client base and generating this revenue would mean nothing. And to me, that was a real problem. So I went down a different route. I set up my own business. I set up my own business and ran it successfully for 8 years until I eventually sold it to a larger equipment supplier. I spent years with them as a partner within their business, developing some of their business systems in education and programming. Eventually, I landed the opportunity to work with BMF, with its now owners, Chris St. George and Bear Grylls. I'm pleased to say over the last 2.5 years, we've had a great journey and we're looking forward to many, many more successful years. But that whole experience in the early days got me thinking more about franchise. And when we had the opportunity to turn BMF into a franchise system, it got me realizing how important and how great this would be for all those personal trainers working in the industry, when really they're working to pay rent to somebody else and not really owning anything. So this is what the franchise route looks like for you, or could look like for you if you decided to go take this further. First of all, you obviously get into business with us. You decide that we're the right fit for you. And during that process and during the interview process and the application process, we'll also decide whether you're the right fit for us, because we want to know that we're getting into business with people that we can partner with that are going to be successful. Because as I said earlier on, your success is our success. So once we go through that process, we go through a short, efficient, but very powerful training period. That period of training gets you to understand all of the business systems, the sales and marketing systems, the training programs, everything that you need to know to operate your business efficiently and successfully. That's done very quickly. And after choosing your location, your territory, or your area that you're going to operate in, whether it's city centre, suburban area, or rural area, once you've got your location, you're ready to start business. And the great thing about a franchise system is we do so much for you. It allows you to focus on what's most important: growing your business, looking after your clients, delivering great fitness sessions, retaining your members, and growing an amazing community, which is strong and supported by a local business owner. That's yourself looking after them. And that's what franchising really does. And that means that you can become profitable so much more quickly than it would be if you're running your own business. Like myself, who ran my own business for 8 years, it took me 2 years before I was actually making any money. It took me over 12 months just to set up the business systems and get everything in place to actually be able to sell the product itself. So from my experiences, the ability, the opportunity within franchising gets you into business so much quicker. And in fact, there's a statistic out there that says that 26% of business startups fail within the first 13 months, whereas via a franchise system, only 2% of those fail. It just demonstrates that all of those systems and all of that know-how is built into the package up front, which gets you into business so much quicker. What I actually think is even more important about franchising is that the franchisor is there to keep you on the right track, to guide you in the right way, to make you focus on what's going to make your business the most success, most profitable. And that's so important in the fitness industry. I see so many personal trainers spending thousands of pounds a month just on the latest mentor program or the latest business mentorship. And in this situation, we do that as part of the package. So for me, it couldn't be a better offer. When you're getting into business, you're owning your own business, you're not paying rent for something that you don't even own, and you're being given that business mentoring and that coaching all the way through to make you successful. And that for me is why franchising in the fitness industry is a great opportunity for personal trainers. And later on today in this webinar, Jan is going to talk to you about not only being the right fit for the business, but also how you can get involved in this opportunity. So you need to stick around for that to learn how you can get involved. So if you decided that franchising sounds like a good thing for you and it sounds like the good opportunity, the right thing for you, why BMF? Why not anybody else? Well, first of all, let's outline some of our leadership team and why our leadership team is to support you, but also bring such a wealth of knowledge from so many different areas. Our chairman and owner, Chris St. George, the founder of the Third Space back in the early 2000s, one of the leading fitness gyms in London, and following that, setting up, operating and then selling the largest private security firm in the world for 1.3 billion, moving back to the UK and setting up a private equity firm and purchasing BMF just over 2.5 years ago. He's brought into this company a team of people with huge knowledge and experience, bringing in Bear Grylls as a co-owner, which brings so much more than just that celebrity endorsement, which I'll go into in a second. Jan Spatikia, our vice chairman, who you met earlier on, who is a serial entrepreneur with incredible experience in the fitness sector, but also in the franchising sector. And then our team of military advisors and military support who give us great credentials and also make sure that we stay true to our military heritage. It could also be the fact that we have that celebrity endorsement, that Bear Grylls effect, that power of that brand. But it's not just a celebrity endorsement, it's so much more than that. Bear is with us on a weekly basis, whether it's delivering our weekly workouts on Instagram or on YouTube, where we get usually 150,000 to 200,000 people viewing it within the first hour of putting that video up there, or when he goes on to BBC Breakfast News and talks about BMF and we get 500 new trialists come to a local park to sign up across the country, or when he goes on the Jonathan Ross show and we get over 30,000 hits on our website in the 24 hours after that. He really is a global brand as a person, but he's also BMF with Bear Grylls is his global fitness brand, and everything he does within fitness is under the BMF brand, which is a huge benefit to us. And then our raving fans. Why our raving fans are so important to our franchisees. It's our members which really make this such a unique proposition. During the period of lockdown, when we weren't able to operate our normal business systems, we actually achieved a net promoter score of 73% in May 2020. When you consider the industry average is below 20%, that is an incredible statistic. And it's because of the power of our local owners who invested in our BMF at Home product and were able to turn their business into an at-home online offer. We were able to retain over 82% of our members as paying customers during this period of time. An incredible statistic, something that the rest of the industry had no idea how we managed to do it. It's why we are the strongest community in fitness, and it's why our franchisees sleep well at night, because they know that they've got a sustainable, stable business model behind them. And we're proud of sharing about it. In fact, we've been talking a lot about it recently, whether it's in the industry press or the national press. A lot of the big national fitness chains do not know how we did it. The secrets there are in our local communities and our local franchisees, but we were able to adapt to the needs of the environment by going online and going online very quickly. And that was how we were able to retain so many members paying as customers. A huge, huge win for us, and it puts us into an incredibly strong position now. And the opportunity right now within outdoor fitness is a very exciting one. It's one that you should seriously consider. Why? Because the environment in fitness centers and gyms for the next 12 to 18 months is going to be a very different one. It's going to be a very clinical one, a very clean one that doesn't necessarily get all the experiences that they're used to. But as outdoor fitness opens and starts to operate with larger numbers of people, you get an incredible experience, incredible member experience, great workouts, great local communities, and less restrictions. So we firmly believe the next few months are going to be very exciting for us, but that's going to go on for a number of months after that. We talked about our members a little bit. I think it's now a great opportunity to meet some of our members, to help you understand that our members come from all walks of life. We are not just tough outdoor military guys. In fact, we have a franchise network from all walks of life. Some are business owners, some are ex-military guys and girls, some are fitness professionals, fitness instructors who become franchisees, and our members come from all walks of life as well. Here's a chance for you to meet a few of them.
I'm a corporate lawyer.
I'm a London taxi driver.
I work in marketing.
I'm a policy analyst.
So we've been coming for 15 years, something like that.
I started coming to BMF about a month ago.
I've just started up again probably within the last 6 months.
I dropped the kids off at school and I know I can come straight down here. I've got familiar faces and I know I'm going to have an hour of fun that's going to be really hard work.
And now I can go back to my normal day and yeah, feel like I've done something. It's really woken me up. Are we clear?
It's a sedentary job, you're sitting down in traffic all day.
My job is stressful, it's time sensitive, it's all about data and numbers.
I actually work from home most days and it can be quite lonely, so the best part of my day is closing my laptop, getting my kit on and going out to BMF. Tail and reach!
I
totally lack self-discipline. At this, where you've got a fixed time to come, you come along, there's group motivation, it gives you the push to actually do something.
You don't always feel like you want to be out in the cold, in the elements, but it's always good fun once you get going.
And the best thing about BMF is I can turn up, I don't have to think, I just do what I'm told and I get my workout done.
Being outside with a group of people, everyone helps each other with the encouragement of everybody else. It's just it's a great community way of exercising. It's changed my life completely.
I am BMF.
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 We are BMF.
And that's the I Am BMF campaign, which is actually our latest campaign. It drops in about 2 weeks' time as the fitness industry reopens again. We go in hard with our I Am BMF campaign, demonstrating to everybody in the country that we're open for business, but also we train with everybody. We have people from all walks of life, and that's just so important to us that we're able to work with kids through to older adults and everybody in between. So next stage. Getting into business with BMF. What's it like to be part of the BMF network? What's it like to be a franchisee? Well, here's a few slides which will help you understand what you'll be doing as a franchisee. First of all, we provide a diverse fitness offer, an offer which provides a sustainable business model which allows you to attract a broad group of members from all demographics, young, old, and everybody in between. We offer group training, we offer personal training, we offer training for families, we offer online training and on-demand training. Especially at the moment, it's more important than ever to have this diverse fitness offer, as over the next 18 months, as the pandemic continues, we're not sure exactly how the indoor clubs are going to survive or going to operate, whereas we know that with our sustainable model, where we can leverage online training at home, we can keep retaining members throughout any issues or challenges or any increases in the pandemic. And not only that, this multi-layered approach gives you the opportunity to work with people that might focus more on PT or might like group training more. And it gives you the opportunity to shape your business within the local area. It gives you the opportunity to choose the right programs as well within the local area, which will attract the right members for you. And then we talked earlier on about the territory that you would own. This is something which is so unique, and I'm going to hammer it home again. And this is why this is an opportunity which I really urge you guys to take further. I really want to hammer home the fact that unlike personal trainers, paying rent in gyms or being employed, this is an opportunity to own so much more than just the clients you work with. Own a business, own a territory, and everything that's in there, giving you enough people, enough customers to sell to grow a membership system, to grow a membership which becomes profitable. You can start with a very small investment in our outdoor training product, gets you into business quickly, attracts enough customers for you to become profitable. And as you grow and develop, you can upscale and go into our mobile training systems or even possibly our urban training system, which is really setting the London scene alight at the moment, absolutely smashing it and doing more than anybody else can do right now. So we're really proud of the urban, but to highlight, you can get into business with BMF for very little investment requirements, and we'll cover those later on today. Then it's our marketing system, something that PTs often struggle with. We give you access 24/7 to our marketing portal. It puts the power of marketing in your hands, but we develop all of the great marketing assets. We spend the money, the investment, and the time to create the best branding, the best assets, so you can promote your local business and generate leads to your sessions. What's great about our marketing portal and all the assets is we constantly refresh them, and we have national campaigns like the I Am BMF campaign, which get more people across the country to learn about BMF. But we've been around for 20 years, so it's actually interesting to know that as a business, more people search for BMF than they search for outdoor fitness providers currently on Google. In fact, we get 30,000 plus hits on our website without any of the additional Bear Grylls promotion and push that he gives us. We have this strong social media reach that whether it's UK or international, we're known so well. We're known for outdoor fitness, and we're known for being the world's best outdoor workout. And it's this marketing power which will help drive your business and allow you to grow your business, putting the power of marketing in your hands so you can do as much as you want or as little as you want. So then it comes into our operating systems, something which allows you to run your business well and efficiently. Our efficient operating systems will allow you to focus on what's most important, which is operating sessions, delivering classes, and supporting and looking after your members and selling memberships. The systems allow you to do your membership sales. It allows you to book your instructors in and allocate them to sessions. It allows you to track your revenue. It allows you to keep in contact with your members with our CRM system. And it also allows you to deliver the online and at-home services to keep your members training more often, especially during the winter months, as sometimes people are concerned about people dropping off over the winter because of dark nights. We use our BMF at-home service to keep people training 24/7 all the way through the year. And then you get access to our latest workouts, the finest programs, the ones that are at the tip of this spear, the cutting edge of the fitness industry. Developed by myself and a team of instructors at the central level, we make sure our programs are cutting edge, but also results-based. Results-based and goal-orientated is what we like to think of them. We do this because we want to attract all different types of demographics, whether it's the extremely fit or the very inactive. We have a program for everybody, and we also offer personal training. So it allows you to be selective about the programs which fit the group of people that you're working with in your local area. And then we use the latest technology. We use MyZone as a heart rate tracking system to reward your members for the effort that they put into it. We then have an incredible apparel range developed by Nike in partnership with BMF. You're able to generate revenue outside of the classes that you're running and outside of the PT that you're running by selling apparel like our Nike. So some great opportunities to generate secondary revenue where normally personal trainers would struggle to do those things. We have all the systems and the IT and the shop available for people to go online as members and purchase these products by their franchisee. And then you get access to our central team, a central team which is here to make you guys successful. Our franchise network manager, Hayley Cooper, is here to onboard you, get you into business quickly, and then support you all the way through the business journey. We've got a marketing team which helps promote your business, drive more trialists to your location, improves the website traffic, improves the marketing messages, and gets more people coming to free trials. We then have an operations team run by Sam McGarrick, with HR support and finance support to ensure that you're operating an efficient business which is growing and is becoming profitable as quick as possible. And I spoke to this gentleman on screen, Drew Blofeld, just a few weeks ago. Before we started doing all these webinars, he was talking about how well he was getting on, even in the period of time during COVID when we were in lockdown. And he said something on the phone. I said, could you just record that for me, Drew? Because it's exactly what we need for our webinar. I want to play this for you because it's going to help you understand what we do for our franchisees and get it direct from one of them.
Hi guys, my name's Drew Blofeld. I've worked with Be Military Fit now for 18 months as instructor at Bolton Mossbank Park. About 12 months ago, I was offered the opportunity to franchise the territory, and it's one of the best decisions I've ever made. So much so, since then, I've now franchised multiple territories, and I really enjoy what I'm doing. I think one of the best things about this opportunity is the lifestyle that it brings with it as well. It becomes more than just a job. I love being in the outdoors, and it lets me lead the life that I really enjoy. So I feel like I'm very lucky to be doing what I'm doing right now. It's simple. It's really simple. What I love about it is the amount of support that we get from Central. And I think that's probably been highlighted more so now than ever during the recent lockdown. You know, other companies within our industry, they're not surviving. They're struggling. We've not only survived, we've thrived. We've grown. That's down to the hard work of not just the franchisees, but also the amount of support that we've had from BMF Central. And that's been the case throughout since the time my application was submitted to franchise, right the way through to this day now. They've always been there to support us, you know, and give us whatever we need. And it's a two-way thing. If we've got a concern or there's something we're not happy about, we pass up the chain, they listen and we get the answers back, and together we make the improvements, we make changes. It's a brilliant journey to go on. It's very simple to run as well. All the back office, all the support you need to make your business successful, from finance options to accounts to your membership offering, the support is there. The templates are there. So you can spend less time getting dragged down into the weeds of running a successful business, more time on the ground, more time growing membership, and making your business more of a success, generating more revenue. It's a great opportunity. If you're already on this webinar, you're already considering it, I cannot recommend it enough. It's one of the best decisions I've ever made. And I've run multiple businesses in the past, some very successful ones. This is the one I really enjoy, and I'm very grateful to be a part of it. So good luck on your journey. I hope you do it, and if you do, I look forward to seeing you soon. Okay, take care, guys. Good luck.
There's Drew Blofeld, one of our serial franchisees, owns over four locations, I believe. Now, I'm going to hand straight over to Jan Spatikia, Vice Chair from BMF, who's going to talk to you about being the right fit and then go into the financial details about how you can get involved in the opportunity. Over to you, Jan.
Thanks very much, Tommy. You've certainly described a very compelling opportunity. My job now is to talk to you about how franchising works if you've not been involved in it. It's very much a two-way selection process. There are literally thousands of franchise opportunities out there, and it's really important that you, if you're looking for a franchise opportunity, choose the right one. But equally, we have to choose the right people to fit in the BMF family. It's not right for everybody. It's hard work. It's tough. It's a lot of hard graft, but the rewards are huge. And we're looking for people that are looking to build a business that has capital value, a business that you can pass on to your children, a business that can create capital wealth in the future. This isn't simply having a PT self-employment that provides enough money to pay the bills. We're looking to create a business which has real value. And so we have to find the right people who are the right fit for us. And I've been very lucky in my career. I've been a personal trainer, I've been a club manager, a regional manager, but since I was about 24 years old, that's about half a lifetime ago, I've been a successful entrepreneur, and I've been financially independent, as have my family. And that's simply because I have an entrepreneurial mindset. And I've become very, very intrigued by what makes an entrepreneurial mindset. I'm very lucky that, as well as being the Vice Chair of BMF, I'm also the Chairman of the UK's biggest and fastest growing fitness franchise business. That's Energy Fitness, and that's an indoor franchise concept. And I've built that over around a 15-year period, and I've met many, many successful entrepreneurs through that career and my career with BMF. But alongside that, I also speak at keynote conferences all over the world. And I thoroughly enjoy meeting new entrepreneurs. And I've become somewhat obsessive about a big exam question, a big question that I believe needs answering. Tommy, if we just slip onto that first slide. I call it the E factor. The question is simple. Entrepreneurs, are they born? Do you get born that way, or are they made? I think many successful entrepreneurs and many people who I know are equally creating successful businesses like to make somewhat of a mystique of it. It's something about the magic in their hands, and they can fire laser beams and make businesses work. And I've been quite troubled by that concept ever since I became an entrepreneur. I am quizzical about whether it truly is the fact that people are born that way, or can you learn to be an entrepreneur? Can you be helped to become an entrepreneur? I suppose I can ask that question in a different way. If I just show you two photographs, let's start with this one. I'm guessing that most of you would recognise Richard Branson. Okay, so my question, again, born or made? Is Branson born that way? Or did he become that way through his environment? Well, let's take this case in point. I would suggest that Richard Branson, and for those of you that are thinking, born that way, was born that way. I would say that there's evidence all over the place. You only need look at his original autobiography, originally entitled, changed later, but originally entitled Losing My Virginity. And it is a brilliant story of somebody that was absolutely born that way. Yes, he was born into a privileged household. Yes, he had a rather entrepreneurial mother, but he was most definitely born with that in his genes. Branson, at age 8, was breeding budgies and selling them in a local village. At age 9, he was growing Christmas trees and again, selling them locally. At age 11, Branson was told by his housemaster at the public school he attended, Branson, you're either going to be a millionaire or you're going to go to prison. And he's rather proud of the fact that we all know he's now a billionaire, but he also did spend a couple of nights in jail, rather close to the wire VAT scheme, at which I might add, he did pay every penny back. But an entrepreneur, in my mind, born through and through. Okay, what about this second example? Okay, so do you recognise that man? Yeah, Bill Gates, or as some would mistake him, maybe Harry Potter, who knows, separated at birth. But let's go with Bill Gates. Okay, so Bill Gates, born or made? Now, this one's trickier. It's not quite so obvious. You have to dig around a little and find a film only available now on the internet called The Pirates of Silicon Valley. It's the story of Bill Gates, an entrepreneur, but a mistaken entrepreneur by his own claim, who worked with his very good friend, Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs, you will all know, the founder of Apple, very much more like Branson, very much all about the deal, all about the money, about the creating of the capital wealth. It was also about control. If you look at the Apple story, it was control the hardware, control the software, control the music, control the delivery. Whereas with Gates, it was all about open source. It was all about provide it to the world, get as many people using it as possible. If you actually look into Gates' background, he was not a natural entrepreneur. He was a geek, a self-confessed IT geek who was born in a place at a time when PCs were becoming all the rage. And he became very prolific in the way that he provided a solution for those that wanted to do early personal computing. Never really cared about the money. It was really all about the winning of the technology race and creating a solution for mankind. So a different sort of entrepreneur. My question really is quite simple. Can you spot an entrepreneur? Can you tell who they are? If I was to show you this photograph from a Microsoft team in 1978, this is the senior leadership team. And if I was to point out Bill Gates, the guy in the circle, would you have invested? Would you have put your hard-earned money into that team? Would you have spotted that that young man is going to be the richest man on the planet one day? It kind of shows you that you don't need to be born an entrepreneur. Anybody can be an entrepreneur if they have the will and if they have the goal and they have the determination. It's my argument that anybody who wants to be could be an entrepreneur. Now, does that mean everybody should be an entrepreneur? No, it absolutely isn't right for everybody. But all I can tell you is when I left school with no qualifications, no bright ideas, and certainly no money, I had very little going for me. I only had one thing, and that was the absolute belief that I was worth six figures. I just could not find a single employer that would agree with me. And I found very early on in life that the most likely person to want to pay me the big bucks was, yeah, you got it, me. I was the one that was most likely to help me become wealthy. And when I look around my circle of friends, there isn't a single one who I think has not become paycheck dependent and could do a lot better. So for all of those that are employed, if they wanted to, sever the dependency on paycheck and instead become committed to spending the 40 or 50 hours a week that they currently spend on working for somebody else to make somebody else rich, and instead they dedicated that time on making money for themselves, wouldn't at least triple their salary. So over the 10 years that I've been obsessed by this question, I've come up with some conclusions, and I'll just share them with you. My first one is, you need to know when is the time to make a break. I spent a very short time in my life in a job. I've only had 48 paychecks in my life, paid by somebody else, and I've been on my own fair wind ever since. But it's not right for everybody to break early. Some people break later. My question would be, when do you decide to make that break? You might think to yourself that I'm going to say to you now is the time. But I can't tell you that. Only you will know. What I can tell you is you'll know when it is the right time. It's when you hear that little voice in your ear. You know, that one you trust, that one that told you when it was the right time to get married, the right time to get divorced, the right time to buy a house. It's that trusted self-conscious that generally serves you well and gives you good advice. What I can tell you, if you go away from this webinar thinking, it's okay, it's really not the right thing for you, you should keep looking, there are lots of other franchises. But if you come away from here thinking, there's a grant available that I can take the opportunity to use to jumpstart me into business, and it really is firing me up, then it probably is the right thing, and we welcome the opportunity to get to know you. What I would say is, don't waste time. My wife and I tragically lost our daughter to cancer when she was 19 years old. Robin was a talented dancer following in her mum's footsteps, and she was going places, and we were so excited about her future. At 16, she developed a small bump on her head, and at 19, We never expected to lose a child, but we had to say goodbye to her. And I promised myself that day I would never allow an entrepreneur that I meet who is simply holding back because they're paycheck dependent, let themselves do that. If you're holding back because you don't want to do it, then don't do it. But if you are determined to become independently wealthy and to be able to create capital wealth for you and your family, then everybody that wants to do it should have the confidence in a country like ours, where even in a crisis time like this, it's still a safe environment that we live in, should be confident enough to make the break. Our government has actually recently shown, for all of their sins, that they're willing to support business, and that will never change. And I believe it's the right entrepreneurs that are finding the right niches that will win. Let's just talk about these niches for a moment. You need to find a business that's going to put fire in your belly. If you get out of bed in the morning and you have a big smile on your face and you jump into your trainers or into your shoes and into your clothes and you're off to work excited about what day holds, then you're in the right business. If you actually have to trudge to work because you don't like what you're doing, then you're never going to make any difference. If you feel this is a business that you can put your heart and soul into, any business you start, be it a startup business of your own or a franchise, is going to be a 5 to 10 year relationship. And you're going to need to enjoy that 5 to 10 year relationship. So you have to be excited about what it is you're doing. And whether today you're a personal trainer working with somebody else, or you're a self-employed personal trainer still working the number of hours that you can afford to put in, but you're wondering where the capital appreciation is coming from, we have the solution for you. And that is called BMF. So let me just flip onto that next slide, Tommy. I think that many people look at entrepreneurial opportunity like this with fear and trepidation. But true entrepreneurs look at the same image and see something quite different, opportunity. And as I said, I'm very proud of the fact that I managed to be successful as an entrepreneur and build multiple businesses. But I'm very proud of many of the entrepreneurs I've met, franchisees that I've helped introduce to an opportunity that have gone on to become incredibly wealthy and incredibly successful. And don't get me wrong, it's not all about the wealth and the money, but it's about what you can do with that and what changes you can make in the lives of your family and the people you love. So let me finally now, just in a few minutes that I've got left, illustrate what it takes to get into the game. So normal franchising. So if you buy a franchise, you will normally have, as you have with BMF, a franchise fee. So the initial franchise fee pays for your exclusive operating territory, the enterprise process, the training, the business manuals, the operating setup, the location finding, all the things we need to get you successfully into business. And every franchisee pays £19,995. So £20,000 essentially for a territory. And that territory is owned by the franchisee. It's on their balance sheet. They sell it, that's a value they can sell on. And when they grow their business, that's a value that sits on their balance sheet as an area that they own. And now, under our £1 million support fund, we are providing qualifying prospects. So that's people who are fitness professionals or PTs who have been affected by the COVID epidemic and have been negatively impacted. We're providing £10,000 off that from us to you. So it lowers that cost of entry to £9,995. Let me be clear, that territory is still worth £20,000. You have a territory that you own worth £20,000. You just didn't pay for that. You also, as a franchisee, pay a monthly royalty. The BMF royalty is 10%. It's pretty average. I would say that in the franchise sector, if you check the latest NatWest survey, you'd find that about 12 to 13 is at the high point and 6 to 7 is at the low point. So at 10, it's about in the middle. And that's 10% of revenue. Notably, we do not take a flat fee. We believe our success should be tagged to your success. So we are connected to you. The more successful you are, the more successful we are. The monthly development levy does not come to BMF to spend. The BMF levy is spent on marketing to make your park famous and drive members to your door. So we take 4.5% of all franchisees' gross turnover, and that goes into a central pot, which is used to market the business. Now, the only other cost you need to be aware of is there's around £5,000 worth of setup costs. That makes sure that you've got your van, your uniforms, your equipment, your marketing collateral, your starter fund, all of the things you need to be successful. So In total, it would normally cost around £25,000. But for somebody who is granted the £10,000 support fund, then instead of £25,000 to get into business, you can get into business for just £15,000. Now, what does that produce in terms of income for you? Now, depending on whether you are a PT or you're running a boot camp or you're running indoor training sessions, this will relate differently to each one of you. But I can tell you that the numbers that you can see on screen here are fact. There's a disclaimer at the bottom there that says it all depends on how hard you're going to work and where you set your prices, a whole number of variables. But somebody with 150 members in their park, that's very normal, will be generating around £6,000 a month in revenue. 200 members in park, £8,000 of revenue. 300 members in park, around £12,000 of monthly revenue in your pocket. Now, bearing in mind, we have parks that prior to COVID were about 1,000 members. 1,000 members. You can work your own maths on just what a revenue opportunity you've got here. But most importantly, this isn't all about how many hours you have to sell as a PT. This is about how many members you can get to buy into a community that is operating both online, in park, and out there, and is being run cost effectively to generate profits. So how can you fund this opportunity? Let's go on to the last slide. Now, you may be sitting there already with the savings in your bank account, and £15,000 gets you into business. The 25 you'd normally need, and the 10,000 that we will grant for your 20,000 territory. You might have had a redundancy, or it might be that you can borrow it from family and friends. But if you haven't, you need not think this isn't for you. The second way you can fund a BMF franchise is through a bounce back loan. And bounce back loans are a new commodity. It's been launched by the government to support businesses in this current situation. So if you're a PT that operates through a limited company, and that limited company was operating on the 1st of March or before 2020, then you can qualify for a bounce back loan. They're incredible loans provided by the government with no personal guarantees. They're to the company, not to you. And they have no interest in the first year, that's paid by the government, and the capital can be spread over 6 years. Most importantly, the interest rate is a tiny 2.5%, and even if you want to repay it early, there are no penalties. It's an incredible loan. It's the closest thing you get to free money. And if you qualify because you've got a limited company, then talk to us about bounce back loan. There is another scheme from the government called the Self-Employed Government Grant. It's more complex, but it's there to support people who have self-employed status. So talk to us again about using self-employed grant to support you. Fourthly, there's a simple loan. 25,000 is an important number. That is the threshold at which banks and other lenders provide unsecured loans. Some of the best rates, ironically, are not from the local high street banks, but actually from the supermarkets. Sainsbury's and Tesco's and Cooperative provide very, very cheap loans, which are on an unsecured basis. So those loans can be used very easily to fund a BMF franchise. And finally, some aspects of the franchise, the van and the equipment, can be financed via a simple equipment lease, which takes the cost of the capital and spreads it over a number of years. So even if you're sitting there with £10 in your pocket and you're thinking, this is the opportunity for me, do not despair. Even with no cash in your pocket, we can help you to get into business with BMF. So we welcome to get to know you better. Thanks, Tommy.
Jan, huge thanks. And I just want to finish off for the last couple of minutes, guys, before we open up to a Q&A section for all of you, just to say that over the last 3 weeks that we've been running these webinars with this offer, we've had, first of all, an incredible amount of people. Over 200 people view these webinars with us, and hundreds actually apply afterwards. And one of our panelists, Andrew, is going to drop a link in the chat now and the messaging section of here with a link for you guys to go and apply for the grant, to just check that you're eligible for it. Again, anybody that's been affected by the COVID-19 pandemic financially, who is in the fitness industry, whether you're a fitness manager, personal trainer, or group fitness instructor, you get access to this, you get the opportunity to take it. But I just thought I'd finish by saying that some of the people that our recruitment team has spoken to over the last 3 weeks have had some incredible stories. One personal trainer, who I won't mention her name, but got into the fitness industry 1 week before COVID-19, was absolutely distraught, but was so keen to be involved in business with us, could see this as her next step, as her way of getting a leg up on everybody else in this period of time, that we went the extra mile to help her get into business. And if you're standing there or sitting there behind the computer thinking, I just can't do it, I just can't work out how I'm going to do this, speak to our recruitment team. We are here to get people into business. As a personal trainer starting out in this industry 20 years ago, I know how tough it is. And right now, I know that so many of my friends are feeling that same way. Some in London, some around the rest of the world. And I really hope that this fund is an opportunity to get people into business and growing a business which will give them a sustainable, stable and prosperous future. So please don't go away from this thinking it's not for you. Speak to Jeanette. Jeanette is going to come on screen now just so she can introduce herself. Speak to Jeanette, explain your situation, tell us what you're thinking and how you're getting through this at the moment. And we want to work with you to make sure we can get you into business. So I hope the last 45 minutes or so has been useful and given you a bit of an idea of what BMF is all about and what this experience and what this membership, the members are like in the community, what everything is like here. It's just such an incredible family, and I really hope that we can get you into business with us. Jeanette, I'll just hand over to you briefly just to tell them some of the next steps.
Yeah, hi guys. It was really great to have the chance to speak to most of you prior to you coming on to this webinar. And as discussed then, I'm happy to answer any questions you might have afterwards or tomorrow if you'd like to think over the evening. But yeah, I'll be in touch with all of you tomorrow. You've all got my number, so you're welcome to call me at any time. I'm happy to answer any questions.
That's great. And once again, there's the link posted in the chat. If you click on that link, guys, you can go straight to a form on the web where you can enter your details, and that'll let us know that you'd like to apply for the grant to get involved in the BMF franchise opportunity. The webinar is now over, so you're welcome to leave. But if you want to hang around and just ask us any questions, now's your opportunity to do that. I'm sure you do have questions, and we're here to answer them. And I'm sure there's lots of you who are probably thinking the same thing, but no one's willing to write it down in the Q&A section. So just locate the Q&A section in your Zoom panel and drop your questions in there, whatever they may be about the franchise, maybe about what happens if I'm not ready to start yet, or whereabouts are the territories and where can I join, and what happens if there's a current franchisee in my area already. Where do I find instructors from? I'm not a personal trainer right now. I'm a fitness manager or gym manager. Do I need to be level 2 or level 3? All of these questions normally come out, so we'll wait for you guys to ask them now if you've got any questions. We'll hang on for a few more minutes, and if there aren't any, then we'll end the session and we'll leave it over to Jeanette to speak with you. What if there's already a BMF in the area? There we go. Look, there's actually, the UK is broken up into just over 1,000 territories, Matt. We have a requirement for each of our territories, and it's pretty much it's very straightforward. A minimum of 20,000 people between the age of 18 to 59 in that location or territory. Territories are worked out by postcodes. There will be a lot more people than 20,000 because you'll have some younger people and some older people, but it ensures that you have enough people or enough fish to fish for in the pond. And we've worked that out based on our business operating model for the last 20 years. We know that we can penetrate a certain amount of the market, and we know that with 20,000 people in those areas, you'll be able to, if you work hard enough and go out and promote your business, you'll be able to get the members you need to be successful and grow a successful business. So if there is somebody in your area that you currently live in right now or nearby, there is a territory next door. There might be a location 10 minutes away, which you actually think that's a great place to train. That would be a great area for a BMF to set up. It might be outdoors. It might be in a green park. It might be a private landowner like a rugby club or a sports club, a cricket ground. It may be an urban area, centre of town, where you might think about setting up one of our urban locations. The great thing about BMF is we have a term called train anywhere. You literally can train anywhere with BMF. You can train wherever you can find outdoor space. And you don't have to be in the same location every single time. You can move around your territory and operate in different locations. So the best thing to do, Matt, is speak to Jeanette, talk about the areas that you're operating in or you're working in now, and we can find a territory nearby if it does happen to be in the same location.
So I think it's just worth pointing out here that the grant is on a per territory basis. So although you're strictly only entitled to one grant, we have got instances of certain prospects and PTs taking multiple territories to lock out territories close to where they are, and that's something we can also talk about. Matt, you've seen an indoor gym. That's interesting that you think it's indoor. It's actually not. It's a very clever camera trick, that one. BMF Urban. So Urban is our latest product. It's something we brought into the business just over 12 months ago, knowing that the business was needing to modernize in certain areas and attract a newer, younger group of people in their 20s. We set up BMF Urban. It's a containerized training system which has an AstroTurf area. We look for an area which has either a cover, like a railway arch, which is where BMF Urban is in Battersea, or perhaps you use one of our container systems which provides a roof over the top of it. What BMF Urban does is give the member an experience which is similar all the way through the year. 365 days of the year, you turn up, you train on the AstroTurf with the latest equipment and the latest programs. It's an enhancement in program and an enhancement in experience. You charge more for BMF Urban members, so your net membership yield is higher. Your return of investment can sometimes be higher as well, depending on the number of members that you attract. So it's a very attractive offer. It doesn't have to be done in central London or in the city centre. It could be done in a rugby club on the outskirts of a location. The actual investment requirements for a BMF Urban versus something like an Orange Theory or an F45, worlds apart. You can get into business with a BMF Urban from 50k all the way up to 100k, depending on the size of the containers and the amount of groundworks that might be required. But definitely an option for you. And we do operate indoors as well. All of our franchisees over the winter months look for local village halls, sports centres, local indoor sites which they can get access to and run some of their outdoor classes indoor. They also run their BMF at home classes now. And we know that this winter it'll be our first year where we'll have our BMF at home product where people can do an online workout with their local instructor at a time which suits them rather than going to the park every single night. So much more flexibility in the winters, but yeah, hopefully that answers your question about the BMF Urban. Matt, you already own a gym, so I'm looking at an outdoor option in the local area. So that's why I asked whether changing my gym over would be an option. Matt, absolutely. It would be definitely worth speaking to myself and Jeanette about that. We have options for integration of people who currently run their own business and bringing that into the BMF model, and making that a BMF facility potentially, or operating a BMF facility outside of that gym that you currently own. So please speak to us about that one. Great stuff. Well, it looks like Matt's the main question guy at the moment. Nobody else. Everyone else is just hanging on in for us to end the session. So unless there's anything else that Jeanette or Jan want to cover now, I'm going to give you 1 minute before we sign off for the day. And in that minute, I will just say a big thank you to you all for joining us. It's been great to have you on. I hope it's been useful. And as I said about 5 minutes ago, do not go away from this webinar without thinking and considering and speaking to Jeanette. We want to get people into business and we want to give people the opportunity to work with BMF. So please give us a call, and we look forward to speaking to you soon. Best of luck to you, and we'll let Jeanette take over from here. All the best. Thanks, Tommy. Thanks very much, everybody.
Thanks, guys.
It's been great to meet you.